Okay, so first of all, let me say good morning, good afternoon, and also good evening to uh, student from Philippines, from Indonesia, Laos, Timor-Leste, and also Cambodia. Yeah, today I have a great honor to share with you about the mathematics education in the digital era. Uh, by the way, I would like to apologize that I could not open the camera because my laptop cannot open the camera. It's not working. So let me apologize for that. And I hope to see all of you one day in the future. Okay, so here's the content for my presentation today. I have five main points. The first one is about the introduction. Second one is about digital thief. The third is some popular tool. Four is practical implementation. And finally, it's my advice to everyone. Okay, so for the first one about the introduction, I would like to come up with the question. What does it mean, digital era? I think maybe at your age, you are experiencing about when you was young, you go to the market and buy something at the market, right? For example, if you goes to the market at the rural area, maybe you use the uh, cash to pay for the thing that you bought, like for example, you buy some banana at the village or some or to buy pork or beef at the market at the rural area, or even if in the capital city right now. I'm sure that in your country maybe it's not different from my country. In my country now, we still use some cash to buy thing, right? At the market, there's no machine, there's no digital thing in the market. But in the supermarket, and mostly it is in the capital city or in the town, you may see that if you buy something, you may not use uh, the cash anymore. Maybe you use QR code, maybe you use a Visa card to buy thing, right? And even those in the supermarket, uh, we don't have the cashier there. It's just a small machine, and then if you want to know the price of the thing that you buy, you just scan the barcode so that the price will appear on the screen, and then you just pay the money by the Visa card or the QR code. So that is the thing that is changing from the past to uh, the present time, which means that it's changing from the traditional one to the digital era. So digital era is the time when information, communication, and mainly created, store, share, and access using the digital technology rather than traditional or analog tool. And we are talking about the digital era. And so how does it affect to the mathematics education? I think to answer the question, maybe we should know what is the purpose of education, right? So, from your thinking, what is the purpose of education? Why do we have to learn? Yeah, so the purpose of education is to solve the daily problem, right? It's about solving the problem that is happening in the society. For example, in order to live in a society, you may like need uh, financial support. We may need some kind of critical decision to make judgment. So in order to have this, we need to have the education. The education can help you to make a good decision, to judge in like efficient way, and also in order to have like money to support your living. I think education is also important, because if you don't have the education, you cannot find a good job. If you cannot find a good job, you may cannot like find the money, or gain the money to support your daily life. So it means that the uh, purpose of education is to support, or to solve the daily life problem that we are facing right now. So when the social change, of course, the education must be changed the same thing. So when the social change to the digital era, and then education should be shifting to the digital era as well. So I think maybe even though I don't put the answer here, but probably you can answer this question, or you may throughout my presentation, I think you may answer this question as well. All right. The next point is about the digital shift. So when the social changing, as I said earlier, the education must be changed, and not only the education, but the way we take the student also change. If you imagine in the past when I was a student at primary or lower secondary school, um, nobody used the phone in the class, because at that time we don't have the phone, right? So nobody has the phone to use in the class, which means that the teaching and learning is in the traditional way. It's like only the teachers explain to the student. Even those, if we talk about the student center approach and teacher center approach, at that time, even those teacher uh, like give a chance to us to discuss, or to think, but uh, however, the decision making, the judgment is on the teacher. So it's like teacher center instruction. So when we are 15, I mean, when we teach in the traditional method, and then how can we live in the digital era? How can we live in the digital society? So that's why I think traditional method of teaching should be fitting to the digital integration, which means that we also like integrated uh, the technology, the digital uh, platform to support student learning. And one more important thing, it's about here, the question, why this shift matters. So why this shift matters? Uh, if we look at the VUCA world, uh, does anyone know about the VUCA world? VUCA world here, V stand for volatility, and U stand for uncertainty, C stand for complexity, and A stand for ambiguity. So the VUCA world mean the world that we are living right now, the society that we are living right now, is like full of uh, volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity, right? For example, in COVID-19. it's happen, does anyone expect that it will happen? Yeah, I'm sure that nobody expect that it will happen. So as we are the people live in this era, we need to find the solution. How do we solve the problem of COVID-19? And finally, we already, I think, even though it's not completely solved, but we already solve the COVID-19 problem. So the thing, which means the thing that we are living right now, is full of uncertainty, complexity, ambiguities, and volatilities. So it means that the traditional methods of teaching cannot solve the vocabulary problem. That's why the shift matters. So the shift matter in order to uh, like uh, provide the student with the 21st century skill, with the deeper understanding of the content knowledge, and also the engagement uh, into the uh, social that they are living, and also in the personal life of learning. By the way, what is the 21st century skill? Does anyone know about the 21st century skill? Right. There are three components of 21st century skill, which is uh, categorized into learning skill, uh, literacy skill, and also life skill. So learning skill, student has to build 4C. 4C, the first C stand for the critical thinking. The second C is about collaboration. The third is about communication, and finally, it's about creativity. So those are the four skill of learning skill in the 21st century. And another two can be literacy skill, like technology, like uh, mathematics literacy, science literacy, and so on. And the other component, the last component, is about life skill, which includes like uh, flexibility, something that can overcome the daily life problem. So the question is that why we shift uh, the traditional method to the digital integration. So why this method, which means that why we shift to the digital integration. So the answer for this can be building the 21st century skill, as I mentioned earlier. And the second thing is about deeper understanding. Sometimes if we don't use technology, maybe student cannot imagine what is uh, what is it about. For example, if you are learning about what is it the if you are learning about the let me say, if you are learning about the computer science, and then if you don't have computer with you, so how can they imagine? It's so abstract, right? So deeper understanding, which means that digital integration can also like support the student learning by making it more concrete. And the last one is about enhanced engagement. So yeah, when we are learning with the digital one, uh, of course, sometimes students may be addicted to the device, addicted to the computer, laptop, and so on. However, uh, that is another side, but another side is student can also like increase motivations through the interactive and personal learning. Okay, so the next slide here it's about the key digital trend that here's I categorize into 6 components, which is the first one is about adaptive learning. So adaptive learning is a platform that personalize content based on student performance, adjusting difficulties in real time. Like for example, if a student in a class, maybe some student cannot catch up the lesson, right? And some student maybe they can do it. So the level of the student is different. That's why we need some kind of tool or platform that can support the slow learner and also can uh, build the smart learner to be smarter and smarter. Yes, to be uh, like more better and better. So adaptive learning is like a platform or some kind of the tool that can support not only the smart student but also the slow learner. Yeah, it's like personalized learning. And the second is about gamification. It's a kind of like uh, the game that can support the student learning. It's integrate like elements such as point or bad guess to challenge the student learning activity. So gamification make math learning more interactive and enjoyable, and also encouraging students to stay motivated and also engage. The third one we call it visualization tech. It's a kind of dynamic software and AR tool. You know AR. We AR is from the word augmented reality, right? So it's a kind of dynamic software and AR tool that transform the abstract concept into interactive visual model such as GeoGebra. What else? Yeah, such as I think Photomat is the best. Photomat and also Pad. Yeah, Pad is also the good one. Okay, I will like give you example or show you the example of the tool or platform that might be useful for you in order to teach the student in the digital era. Okay, the third one is about the AI integration, which means that using artificial intelligence to support and enhance teaching and learning. Like I think maybe you know a lot about AI and you are currently using those like for example ChatGPT, Gemini, DeepSeek, and so on. It's very popular AI platform, yeah, that can support you in teaching and learning. The fifth is about blended learning. Blended learning is the most important teaching approach that uh, it's combine both side teaching and online or we can say digital learning activity to create more flexible and effective learning experience. For example, right now I am in Japan, but I can also like explain you from Japan to all of you in different country. So the same thing in blended learning, students can also learn with digital at home, and then they can like discuss the idea after they learn at home. They go to school and discuss with their friend at school. So that is called blended learning. And finally, it's about data driven. Data-driven instruction means using information and evidence from the student learning data to guide how teacher plan, teach, and access the lesson. So instead of teaching based on a fixed plan, teacher in data-driven classroom make decision based on what the data tell them about the student progress, strength, and also learning gap. Um, Here it's about the core benefits of digital integration. I categorize it into three domains. The first one is about cognitive benefit, which is about the benefits of knowledge that they get. It can enhance conceptual understanding by making abstract idea to more concrete, like the example that I explained you so far, and also improve the problem solving skills through multiple solution and strategy, and finally facilitate elaboration and productive struggle. About the effective benefit is the second domain. It's like sometimes people are boring with doing exercise on a piece of paper, right? So sometimes they may spend time to play game, but the game is not about the game that it's not to support the student learning. Maybe it's the game about learning as well. So affective domain can be used like math anxiety through engaging interface, increasing increased student motivation with immediate feedback and more positive attitude toward mathematics. Um, Finally, is about social benefit. Uh, Digital integration can also promote collaborative learning through new peer interaction, enhance communication skill when explain mathematical reason, create opportunity for students for knowledge construction. Okay, so here are some popular tool that maybe I think maybe you used to hear about that. You used to learn about that. You used to use it in the classroom, probably. But here's what I want to share with all of you. Um, the first one is about gamification. So, what is gamification? Yeah, see here, gamification is a platform. Uh, it is a kind of platform, or we can say digital platform or learning environment that use game element like point, bet, leaderboard, level, and reward to make the learning more engaging and motivating. In mathematics education, they can help students to build problem-solving skill, persistence, and enjoyment. Here, based on the research from uh, Fokidesh in 2018, a case study in grade involving 221 primary students demonstrate that using teacher developed digital game consistently upper form peer and control group. So which mean that using like the digital game to support the student learning outcome is also it's better than uh, uh, some kind of traditional method. As I used to read that article, it's not compare only two group, but it's compare three group. One group is digital, and the other group is like some kind of teaching, be teaching with student center approach, but it's not using the digital one. And then they compare the three group and final result. They found that the most effective method is like using the digital game for students to learn. Okay, so here are the three popular gamification platform that I think you may use it in the classroom. The first one is called Brodigy. Yeah, Brodigy is a curriculum aligned adventure game where students solve math problem to progress in a fantasy world. So Brodigy is adaptive to student skill level and widely used in primary and middle school. So I think that is good for everyone to search or implement it in your classroom. The second one is Kahoot. I think Kahoot is very popular. Um, Maybe in Malaysia, they use Kahoot for more than 10 years, I think. It's about almost 20 years. So Kahoot is a quiz-based game platform that make learning fun through 10 question and live competition. So teacher can create or use ready-made math quiz and also encourage participant and immediate feedback. So that is good for Kahoot, right? And also quizzes. I also like quizzes because it can support the student learning quickly, and also we can like create the exercise faster for student to align with the content that we are learning. So Kahoot, similar to Kahoot for the quizzes, but allow students to play at their own pace, offer detailed analytic for teacher, and support homework mode and integrate with Google Classroom. Okay, and the second point is about visual manipulative. So visual manipulative is the digital representation of concrete object that student can interact and explore mathematical concept. Yeah, like for example, GeoGebra, Desmos, Didact, Math Learning Center. But the most platform that I really like is about pet simulation. Pet simulation here is not only for mathematics but also science. I think that is the program for science, but we can also apply in learning mathematics. Maybe I have okay. I think you may learn it from YouTube or learn it from your own pace about pet simulation, but I really recommend you to search this one and apply in your classroom. So the key benefit of the visual manipulative is build conceptual understanding, as I already mentioned, and make abstract idea concrete, develop procedural and conceptual knowledge, and enable interactive exploration. Okay, and the third is about adaptive learning platform. Yes, as I said, adaptive learning platform is the like educational platform that use data or AI to personalize learning experience. It based on the student need, based on the individual need, skill and progress. It's not for uh, uh, we usually not to support the whole class, but we can support the slow learner, or we can also like enhance a better student. But the most important thing I think is that to support the slow learner. So here are some of the adaptive learning platform that you may use in your class, like Khan Academy. I think it's also a popular one. I used to use Khan Academy very often to create some exercise for my student. It is a non-profit, yeah, because it is a non-profit educational platform that offer interactive lesson video and adaptive practice exercise across many subjects, but it is strongest and most refined area in mathematics. So we are from the mathematics education. I think that is very good for us. FreeCode is an adaptive online learning platform developed by Rain Nation Learning Design to help students grade K5 and up to grade 8. So here is grade K5 mean, I think K5 here mean kindergarten 5. It's like student at the age of 5, I think. Yeah, practice mathematics and other subject at their own level and pace. So I think this is for student learning at home is very important. And finally, here's the example for me is about the usable math. It is an open access online learning platform designed for students in grade 3 to 6 and focus on mathematics, reasoning, problem solving, and conceptual understanding rather than rote drill or quick recall. So here are the three like common use or uh, popular tool that you may use in your daily classroom. Okay, so the four, it's about blended learning approach. I think everyone are familiar with this word, blended learning, which mean that students learn both online and face to face. We may use like digital tool for students to learn at home by themselves, and after that they go to the class to discuss what they are learning. So that is called blended learning. So the key features of blended learning, student need to be flexibility, which mean that move between online and face to face at their own pace. And the second thing about the blended learning is about student center because student learn themselves at home, which means that student is the one who build, who construct their own knowledge. And the last one is improve achievement. Yeah, this is our purpose of the education, right? We want to improve the performance, the achievement to become better and better. Um, the next is about practical implementation. Yeah, after you like after we go through some kind of the what we call the popular tool about the digital integration. Now we go to the practical implementation, which means that what should we do or how should we do, or you need to consider more critically in order to improve the student learning outcome. So in order to use those tools into the real class, you as a teacher, you may need to consider uh, you may need to have three important things. Yeah, the three main component here is just like the overall knowledge that teacher should um, consist. The first one is called TPEC framework. Do you know TPEC framework? T here stand for technology, P here stand for pedagogy, A here is N, yeah. So technology, pedagogy, and C here is content knowledge, yeah. CK is content knowledge. So a model, TPEC is a model for integrating technology and teaching that combine here, as I said, technology, pedagogies, and content knowledge. So in order to teach the student effectively, of course, teacher need to have TPEC, which means that technology, pedagogy, and content knowledge. The second one here, it's evolving teacher role. So the digital teacher, digital integration transform teacher from traditional instructor, content expert, facilitator of learning, data analysis, and motivators and enablers. So in this case, we say that teacher this should influence the success of digital integration, because if the teacher does not evolve into the digital integration, then we cannot teach successfully. And the last one is about implementation challenge. Yeah, of course, even though we say that the digital is very useful, but we still have challenge. For example, technical infrastructure, professional development. Yeah, I think this one is very important, professional development. As you know that AI right now, or digital platform right now, it's like grow up very fast, right? Even those right now, do you know how many AI platform are there in the digital? I think maybe you cannot count it. There are a lot, maybe around 10,000, I think. That's just my estimation. But do you know all those platform? Do you know all how to use those tools? Yeah, even those someone who come from uh, ICT expert, or who are specialists in computer science, maybe they don't know those kind of digital platform. So that is the challenge. Not only they don't know, but like no one, no one teach them. It means that they have to build the knowledge by themselves. They have to learn by themselves. That's called professional development. So if the teacher do not try to like learn about digital, then they are maybe left behind to the social. Then they cannot like teach the student with digital tool effectively. The the third is about time constraint, and I'm sure that we need some time to prepare the lesson online and also offline as well. So we may spend much time in order to integrate the AI tool or some kind of digital tool into our lesson. We may need some time. Student access, that is also a problem, because not many student has the internet to access, right? So I think that is a problem. Maybe most student in the capital city, that's not a big deal for them, but if student from the rural area, I think that's a big deal for them. Content alignment, yeah, in here is also related to the curriculum. Sometimes the curriculum was like a bit old. Like for example, in case of Cambodia, I think the curriculum was not updated many years. And then if we try to apply those kind of technology or digital platform into the lesson, which is not aligned to the curriculum that was developed in many years ago. It's too old for the curriculum. Right. Here's the TPEC framework. We have technology, pedagogy, and content, as I said earlier. Technology is the knowledge of specific technology and capability in education setting. It includes understanding how tools work and their potential application in teaching and learning. Pedagogy is a knowledge of teaching, learning method that are effective for specific context, including understand how to design activity that promote student engagement and develop and conceptual development. Yeah, this is related to how we teach. And also the content, it's about knowledge of the subject. Like for example, you are teaching math and if you don't know what is the meaning of algebra, what is the meaning of uh, fraction, that is a big challenge for everyone. Okay, so the next is about addressing implementation challenge. So in order to address the challenge uh, from the digital shift, I mean from changing from the traditional method to the digital integration, I think we need to develop the profession of the teacher that we call professional development gap, which means that teacher have to like lifelong learning, keep learning. So not only the content knowledge, not only the subject knowledge, but also the ICT skill, or we can say ICT literacy skill. And also technology infrastructure is also the issue, as I said earlier. But here, I think uh, the school has to make decision how can we support the student with the digital tool, because digital is very important. If we forget about it, then we may not reach the we may not gain the 21st century skill, and then we may like pitch off from the world. um yeah, here is curriculum integration. As I said earlier, our curriculum must need to be updated in order to align with the social change. Equity concern, yeah, of course, maybe like, for example, one student has uh, device, has a tablet, and the other student don't have tablet. So the student who have tablet may learn better than the student who don't have that tablet. That is called equity concern. So yeah, from this is like the challenge that you have to consider. But the next step is that strategy PD approach, which means professional development approach. And here, if you have a problem here, you may uh, pace implementation. If you have problem with curriculum integration, you may contact TPAC framework. And finally, if you have problem with equity concern, you may like consider about equitable access and strategy. Okay, so I think it's almost the end of my presentation, but before the end of my presentation, I just would like to give some advice to you. The first one is that use AI as a tool, not a replacement. Let AI support your teaching, but continue to encourage reasoning, exploration, and creativity, which means that you don't need I mean you should not depend on AI or on digital tool to teach the student, and then you don't like give a chance for student to think, to promote the reasoning skill. You need to like balance between AI and also face-to-face learning. A second one is blend AI with human interaction, which means combine AI guide exercise with discussion, collaborative project work, and problem solving uh, session to develop higher order thinking skill. The third is monitor and guide learning. AI may give immediate answer, but the teacher must intervene to explain, challenge, and extend understanding. Sometimes the answer from AI is not correct. Like I also experienced today, I use AI to support to translate the pictures of the lesson plan that I do in Khmer language, and I feel like it's too hard to translate it into English. Uh, like it's hard to translate the lesson plan from Khmer language to uh, English language. So I use AI to translate for me, but the result I found that they are not translating. uh, they just try to like summarize and explain what is the meaning of that, what does it mean, and so on. Even though I try, please translate this text to me, but they still not translate and try to explain me something. So AI is not always correct. So you have to have your own thinking uh, rather than use AI all the time. And finally, it's a not finally, it's number four. It's about incorrect ethical and responsibility use. Teach students to use AI responsibility, understanding its benefit and limitation. The most important is responsibility, and I may add more is about accountability as well. Finally, the last one, it's about stay updated and critical. Yeah, as I said, that digital tool or the digital platform, it's updated from day to day. So sometimes the thing that we see today is not the same as the thing that we see tomorrow. So please try to do professional development and also update your critical thinking in order to um, use AI effectively. So that's all for my presentation, and here is the question for you guys to answer. I have two questions. Maybe everyone has only one question, but to me, um, I like you to put two questions. The first question is about reflection. Which digital strategy would you like to implement in your classroom and why? The second question is about challenge. What specific challenge do you anticipate when integrating technology in mathematics education, in mathematics instruction? So in order to answer this question, please scan the QR code here and then yeah, answer to that question. So thank you everyone, and I hope to see you one day. And I hope you enjoy my presentation. Thank you very much.